My next guest gives us tremendous health advice, and I always enjoy talking to him. Dr. Vincent, good afternoon.
Glad to be here.
You're going to tell me today something interesting. 5 simple things I can do every day to get smarter, or 5 simple ways to get smarter.
Yeah. I think it's really important for us to strive to always improve ourselves, our health, including our brain function and efficiency. And for example, myself, I need to do it all the time. There was something that was really funny that happened yesterday, because normally we have our segment every Saturday, and for some reason, clearly I didn't pay enough attention. I thought that our segment was yesterday, and I was, and that was one of the examples why we have to take care of our brain health, because the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Could it be that you just didn't write it down in the diary properly?
Oh, that could be another reason too. But I thought it would be such a good introduction to the 5 simple ways that we can do every day to get smarter. Basically, 5 simple ways to hack our brain to help us be better at our everyday life. And these tips are actually really, really simple, but very important. We're already doing it anyway. So let's get into simple ways to make it better every day.
All right. Fire away. Give me number 1.
Number 1, you are what you eat. So our brain is fueled by good fat. 70% of it is water, good antioxidants, a good oil, essential fatty acids. So make sure that our diet is rich in all of these micronutrients, essential nutrients, because not only it helps our brain to function well, it also protects our brain from the degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, dementia. It also helps our brain to basically be more plasticized, be more flexible in terms of firing all of those neurons, so that not only it helps our way of thinking, our cognitive performance, but also improve our memory. And this has a lot to do with our heart health as well. A lot of people do not know that the diet that is good for our heart and circulation, it is also improving our brain function, because if our brain is not being flushed with all of this oxygen-rich blood that is heavily dependent on our heart and circulatory system, it will not have all of this oxygen and nutrients that can fuel the function of our brain.
So some of the foods, what are some of the things we should be eating more of that we don't?
Pumpkin seeds, coconut oil, avocados, eggs, apples, activated phenolics, omega-3 fatty acids, linseeds, basically all the things that are usually found in Mediterranean diet, for example, or things that are good for your heart, oats and stuff like that. They are, most of the time, are also really good for your brain health.
I always struggle with avocado. I really don't like avocado at all, and I know that shocks a lot of people out there when I say I can't stand the stuff.
Have you ever tried sweet avocado, like avocado in sweet things, like dessert or avocado smoothies? Because avocado, pineapple, mint, and a little bit of honey in the smoothies in the morning, it's really, really good. Maybe try it that way instead of eating it the safer way.
I will try that. I enjoy apples, though. I really do.
That's really great. And the next thing that we also forget to do sometimes is brain exercise, especially in the world of technology, gadgets and stuff like that. We forget that reading or playing board games is actually really good to train our brain. And I have been really getting into Wordle lately, and I think that there are days that I do really well. I got the word within 2 or 3 guesses, and sometimes even within 1 guess. But there are days that I struggle, and I think that it's really good to challenge our brain in a simple way, especially at the start of our day. Because if you guess it, it makes you feel good. If you don't guess it, that's fine. You learn something new.
I've avoided Wordle up to now. I do play Words with Friends though, and I normally will do it in the morning.
Yes, well, whichever way that you decide to do it, I think the key takeaway is that if you play all of this, brain exercise, game, or even reading. A lot of us probably have forgotten the joy of reading. I used to try myself to, go for a Kindle or Audible, but I have to be honest that I love the paperback. I love the tactile and the texture and flipping the pages. And I think that's really good and therapeutic for me.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. And it might sound funny coming from me, who's a tech person, that I enjoy that. I think we do. We enjoy the feeling of paper as we read.
Yeah. And I think that whichever way that you decide to do it, I have a lot of friends who really, they're learning by listening. They're very audio centric. And they find that a podcast or masterclass app or Audible is really beneficial for them, especially if you do a long commute in the morning, rather than, flipping through Instagram or Facebook. They're listening to audiobook, and that really helps them in terms of not only staying informed but also stimulating their brain.
I mean, because I sometimes have long commutes between clients when I go and see them. Apart from having 5AA on, I always listen to podcasts along the way, because I think it's we can learn things, and mine a specific education podcast for the industry that I'm in.
Yeah, and especially in your industry, Richard, what you read in the morning, things may change in the afternoon. So this is something that can be really beneficial for yourself or people who are interested in the fast-moving information world that they're in.
What's number 3?
Number 3, speaking of being stimulated in terms of your brain health and activity, engaging in a debate or discussion or being social is actually really important as well, especially now that we are coming out of, the pandemic, lockdown, and all of the other restrictions. I feel that we need to relearn how to be social again, how to be a good conversationalist, to be a good listener, because being socially active appears to have a really positive effect that lessen the risk of developing diseases such as Alzheimer's. So the more that you engage in a conversation, even a debate, I love a healthy debate or even slightly heated discussion, as long as you know that the point of discussing that is purely, for discussion or for academic purpose. And this is one of the way that I basically remain sharp in the way that you need to make sure that not only you can answer or argue, you also have to make sure that you know how to listen and understand other people's perspective. And it's good for your brain. It's also good for your social life.
And we're not talking having an argument, are we?
No. We're talking about having a debate or discussion. I probably should have worded this better, but I was thinking of it from the academic perspective, because a lot of times I really miss being amongst academics and among students going to the conferences, because those events are the opportunity for us to exchange ideas. That's probably a better word rather than a debate.
Which is good. Nothing wrong with an argument sometimes, though. But yeah, number 4 is good quality sleep and a sleep pattern. And again, I always struggle with this.
Just like electronics, we need to be charged or recharged, and sleep is our biological way to recharge our body, including our brain. As a matter of fact, in the beginning of diagnosis of Alzheimer or dementia, in the past, I'm talking 20, 30 years ago, the specialists in this area thought that the disease or the syndromes actually cause people not being able to sleep. However, as they study more and as they understand more about sleep and sleeping pattern, they actually found that probably the relationship was inverse, in the way that when people are suffering from insomnia, it actually increases their risk factors for developing things like Alzheimer or dementia. And principally and philosophically, it has merit in terms of looking into this area from a different side, because when you are not sleeping, you're basically depriving your brain the opportunity to heal itself, to recharge, to be well again. And not only that, when you are not sleeping well, it also creates a situation where your brain does not receive enough oxygen. And as I said before, oxygen-rich blood really needs to be constantly circulating in your brain to make sure that the neurons are functioning properly.
Good sleep, good life sometimes. And lastly, building a supporting environment.
Yeah, building a supporting environment can mean differently to different people. Say, for example, a lot of people in the university where I used to work, at the beginning of the introduction of an open plan office, a lot of people struggle with that. But at the same time, some people actually thrive in that situation. I'm not saying that one group is better than the other. I just from the experience, I was just learning that perhaps we need to be able to recognize which environment that we will thrive and we function well and better, and try our best to put ourselves to build that kind of environment to support our brain health. Be it, you probably have met people whose desk is like extremely clean. Everything is so organized, and that's how they function. Whereas
thanks, Vincent. That's like me. I enjoy having everything's got to have a place for me on my desk.
Yeah. But the rest of us, including myself, if you clean my desk, or if I clean my desk and put everything in the places where people think it's organized, I can't function. I can't find things. I need to be in the midst of the chaotic environment for me to thrive. And that's fine. It's really good that you recognize you thrive in the environment, and I recognize that I thrive in different environments. And I probably challenge people who listen to us today's Sunday, take a moment to think of what kind of environment that we thrive and we function really well, and build those environment around us.
It's always funny, I go in to see some people and they've got there's crap all over their desktop on their computers, and you can hardly get another icon on the screen, and you say, you need this file, and they take 10 minutes to go along and find the file on there and say, it'd be so much easier if you cleaned everything up. And they always go, Richard, I know where everything is, it's fine.
You just described me. Like, seriously, this is how it works. But I have a question for you on that topic, Richard. When you open your browser, how many tabs do you have open? Like, say, for example, if you click on Google Chrome, how many tabs do you have open?
I can answer that straight away. 5 tabs.
Okay, well, as opposed to my 50 tabs. Sometimes because you think that, I really need that, and I know where it is. But I have to admit that sometimes I really need to declutter a little bit, because I need to be able to find things. And sometimes when I do my monthly decluttering, in the first week, even though I struggle a little bit, I do feel a little bit more calm. So maybe I should learn a little bit from your way of working, Richard.
I always find people hang on to, especially I've got to say, anything on their computer for far too long instead of storing it in the cloud. I don't need it on the computer. I may need it one day. Put it in the cloud, get it off your computer. And it just, it's, you don't have to worry about it. It's always there for you. It's always backed up. But it's also, if I need it, I can find it. And you can access it from anywhere.
That sounds really like a really good idea. I have converted to cloud. I have to say I'm very proud of saying that. 2 years ago, I converted to cloud, and it was just by the strike of luck that I did it a month before we went into lockdown. And that was probably one of the best decisions I have ever made.
It's a decision that more people need to make sometimes, because it's just once you explain it to people, it becomes the easiest thing out. Vincent, thank you very much for talking to us today. Give a plug for your business.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And for people who want to find out about what I do, the research that I did in university, and also my products, they are available at Woolworths. Please do visit our website, anappleaday.com.au. Support us, support Australian farmers and Australian industry.
Which is what we like. Vincent, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday.
Thank you.